Hello everyone and welcome to our video series on Learn Persian for Beginners. In the last lesson, you learned about the basic sentence structure. In this lesson, we will learn how to conjugate the two most important verbs, بودن و داشتن. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for learning Persian for free and in the easiest way. We offer the structure courses for A1 and A2 at the moment, and soon B1 and B2, and a variety of topics from grammar and vocabulary to common mistakes one can make in Persian. You can also visit our page on persiancampus.com to get free podcasts, songs, and early access to our videos and more. So let's begin. درس 11. یه بار دیگه درس 11. صرف فعل بودن و داشتن. In this lesson, you will learn how to conjugate the two most important verbs بودن و داشتن. At the end, we will do a small exercise. بودن و داشتن are used as helping verb as well as main verb in a sentence. In this video, we will only concentrate on the conjugation of these two verbs as main verbs. If you want to learn when they are used, you can watch our videos on بودن in our grammar series. The link is given below in the description. So, here are two sentences we are already familiar with. من یک ماشین دارم. یه بار دیگه من یک ماشین دارم و تو معلم هستی. یه بار دیگه تو معلم هستی. These two verbs داشتن و بودن have been conjugated here according to the subject. In the first sentence, the subject is man, and in the second sentence, the subject is تو. Please remember that the verb used in the sentence must always be conjugated according to the subject. Now, let's conjugate the verb داشتن. Do you remember the pronouns we've learned in the previous lesson? We will be listing all these pronouns and conjugate these two verbs with each of them. Make sure that you repeat after me. Here are the pronouns in singular. من، تو، او. من دارم، تو داری، او دارد, or اون داره. We have learned that the suitable ending for man is am. We connect it to the end of the verb. For to is e, and for u is at that we can change it to the spoken form e. Now, let's continue the pronouns in plural. ما, شما, آنها or اونا, ایشان or ایشون. ما داریم, شما دارید, آنها دارند or اونا دارن. The ending for first person plural ما is im, connected to the end of the verb. For شما is id. For آنها is and, that we in spoken form change it to an. This is how we conjugate all verbs in the present tense in the following videos. So it's important that you understand the pronouns and the suitable endings. Also, pay attention to the endings of the verb marked in blue. These are the endings generally used on verbs. Luckily, there are very few exceptions, and that is only in the case of بودن. Right now, you should just learn this conjugation as it is. With time and use, you will get better. Now, let's look at a few sentences where داشتن has been conjugated and been used as a main verb. Please concentrate on the subject and the conjugated verb. من یک خواهر دارم. یه بار دیگه. من یک خواهر دارم. Next one. تو خونه داری؟ یه بار دیگه. تو خونه داری؟ Next one. اون ماشین داره. یه بار دیگه. اون ماشین داره. Next one. ما لپتاپ داریم. یه بار دیگه. ما لپتاپ داریم. شما شغل دارید؟ یه بار دیگه. شما شغل دارید؟ And آنها پول دارند. یه بار دیگه. آنها پول دارند. You can always refer back to the table to make sure about the conjugated verbs according to the subject. Let's analyze these sentences. من یک خواهر دارم. First, you must notice that the verb داشتن is a transitive verb. That is, it needs not only the subject but also the object. The word order in Persian is SOV. That is, subject, object, verb. The good news is that once you learn a word, you can use it as a subject or an object without making any changes on them. In this sentence, man is the subject pronoun and یک خواهر is the object. The verb is conjugated according to the person and number of the subject, and it gets the appropriate ending, which here it is am. And don't forget, we can always drop the subject pronoun. من یک خواهر دارم. یک خواهر دارم. And we still understand what the subject is based on the subject ending am. Let's continue to the next example. تو خونه داری؟ We have learned that in Persian, we can simply change an affirmative or indicative or positive sentence to a yes, no, بله خیر question with changing the intonation. So, this sentence can be both indicative or interrogative question according to our intonation. تو خونه داری؟ تو خونه داری؟ In both cases, we first have the subject to, then the object خانه or خونه, and the verb داری, which is conjugated in accordance with to and received e ending. The same is true about other examples. اون، ما، شما، آنها، ایشان are the subjects. ماشین، laptop, شغل, پول are the objects, and the verb داشتن is conjugated accordingly. اون دارد or داره، ما داریم، شما دارید، آنها or ایشان دارند. Now let's do a small exercise. Fill in the gaps with the correct form of the verb داشتن or the suitable subject pronoun. Here is the first sentence. Which pronoun would you replace it? The ending is ad, so it shows the subject must be third person singular. It can be either u or un, spoken or written. Next example. Here, the ending is id, that is for second person plural. So, we can complete it as شما بچه دارید؟ Here is the next sentence. نیلوفر و کامران ماشین. Here we need to fill in the gap with the suitable verb for two people who are neither you or me. They are آنها. The suitable conjugated for them then would be دارند. نیلوفر و کامران ماشین دارند. Now let's move on to our next verb, بودن. Some grammarians consider بودن as the past infinitive to mean to be, and instead هستن as the present infinitive to mean to be. But whatever it is, its meaning is important. Let's conjugate this verb بودن or هستن for our subject pronouns. That would be من هستم، تو هستی، او است or اون هست، ما هستیم، شما هستید، آنها هستند or اونا هستن. Let's see how it works in a sentence. We already have made many sentences with هستم when we wanted to introduce ourselves and هستی when we wanted to ask about other people. You can watch the videos on lessons 5 to 6 to review them. The links are in the caption. Now, see the examples. من سپیده هستم. تو متأهل هستی. او ایرانی است or اون ایرانی هست. ما خانه هستیم. شما کجا هستید؟ آنها اینجا هستند or اونا اینجا هستند. As you see, the endings are the same as other verbs, and there is only one exception, and that is about third-person singular. In written form for third-person singular, we might use asked, but in spoken we say hast. In both cases, we don't use any ending such as ad or e for third-person singular. As we call it, the ending is null, empty. Now let's analyze some of them. ما در خانه هستیم or ما خانه هستیم. ما is the subject pronoun. هستیم is the verb which is conjugated accordingly with the ending im. Be careful, خانه is not an object because the verb بودن or هستن is not a transitive verb and doesn't need an object. Since you need to say what you are, who you are, where you are, how you are, and so on, and only to be is not enough, we consider both of them together. The same is true in all languages. Now it's time for an exercise. You have to conjugate the verbs and fill in the blanks. Here is the first one. خانم راد، شما خونه؟ Here we are addressing Ms. Rod. The subject is شما because we are speaking politely, formally, and the suitable verb would be هستید. خانم راد، شما خونه هستید؟ Here is the next one. Here, the subject is سعید, which is third person singular. The suitable verb would be است or هست. سعید متأهل هست or سعید متأهل است. Let's move on to next exercise. Here, the subject is من و مفید. Since I am included, that is we, ما. The suitable verb then would be هستیم. من و مفید معلم هستیم. Great! Hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you still haven't. You can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we upload a new video. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. ممنونم. خداحافظ.